All right, Astacross, I'm trying to beat you to a video. Is it possible? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. So Bungie's senior community manager, DMG, just put a tweet out there tonight. Well, actually, from the published date of this video, he put it out last night and it said, Thresh works in Crucible. We missed a patch note. What that led a lot of us to believe was that in the most recent patch note it worked. So I immediately hopped into a private match and tested it out. If you're curious what Thresh is, it's a perk that can roll on a lot of different guns. And a lot of people were just dismantling them if they were into PvP because, well, it didn't work. But now they're saying it does. Specifically, it says killing combatants with this weapon generates a small amount of super energy. So in other words, when you get a kill, you get some super, but if you get a kill with a gun that has Thresh, you get more super. All right, so just to get some basics out of the way, you have a super bar that's like this, right? Over time, that bar will fill up until you get your super, right? As we all know, 10 intellect means that you fill this bar up a lot faster than if you had 0 intellect. And to be exact, there's actually tables out there, like this one on screen, that show you how many seconds it's going to take at every level of intellect. So for example, if you're rocking a stasis subclass at 10 intellect, it's going to take 236 seconds to fill up the bar. If you're at 0 intellect, again, this is on stasis, it's going to take 421 seconds to fill up the bar. But as we all know, as this is charging up, if you get a kill, you get this extra little like boost in super energy, right? And that boost can actually tell us a lot of information because I can go in and measure that boost in a lot of different scenarios and then spit out a table with a ton of information that's useful for you guys. For starters, I can measure the length of the super bar, which I did, and that's 457 pixels long. And then I can measure this little boost, and that is 15 pixels long. And that's at base, okay? That is the base pixels when you get a kill. That's like a regular hand cannon, a sniper, wow, castle, great job. All of these, it doesn't matter what weapon you get a kill with, they all give you 15 pixels at base. Now what I've done is I've gone in and measured how much it boosts with Thresh, and that amount is 20 pixels. I was a little bit disappointed. Now I checked. Hand cannon with Thresh, 20 pixels. Sniper with Thresh, same deal, 20 pixels. I then redid those at different intellects. So at 10 intellect, it was 20 pixels. At 0 intellect, it was 20 pixels. For all scenarios, it was 20 pixels versus the 15. So there's a few conclusions that we can draw from this. I want to explain something really clear here. If I'm running, let's say 0 intellect, and it takes me 421 seconds to fill this bar up, well, no matter what, when I get a kill, the number of pixels is 15. That tells me that every kill when I'm at 0 intellect will cut 14 seconds from my timer. So let's say I get 1 kill. What does that mean? Well, that just means I'm cutting off 14 seconds from this total. This would give me 407 seconds left in my super. If I got a second kill, well, that's just how it keeps going. It would just subtract another 14 seconds over and over and over. And that's obviously why when someone's getting a lot of kills, they're getting their super faster. So using this type of information and the fact that I know that Thresh is going to give us 20 pixels per kill, I can now formulate a table that says, hey, if you're running a certain intellect, it's going to cut this much time off of your super. Is it worth it? Now here's that table I was talking about. And for your reference, this is the 0 intellect 421 second stasis super that I mentioned and approximate time in seconds cut per kill. This is the 14 seconds. So this is what tells me, oh, every kill I get at 0 intellect is going to cut roughly 14 seconds off of my time till I get my super. If you use the in-game timer to figure out how much time a certain thing can cut off of your super, for example, there's just a little bit of difficulty with that because it's kind of like plus or minus half a second to a second on both ends of the clock that you're paying attention to. For example, I said at 15 pixels base 0 intellect, every kill is going to cut about 14 seconds off. If you actually sit in a private match and you wait the thing out, it works out to like 12.5 seconds. So there's about a 1.5 second difference there, but the point still remains the same. So all of these things could be plus or minus 1 second each, but the delta between using Thresh and not using Thresh is the same. And so I really just want you to wrap your head around the logic behind the perk and whether or not it's worth using in the scenarios that you're going into, like trials versus comp versus rumble, because it will definitely vary based on what you're playing. As you can see, if you had, say, 0 intellect, having Thresh on will cut 18 seconds. That's about a 4-second difference, you know? So if you're getting, I don't know, 5 kills, that's about 20 seconds, and that's a fairly decent amount. Like, for example, that's like going from 3 intellect to 4 intellect, but also nothing to write home about. Now, this is the part that kind of sucks. Let's say you run something like 7 intellect. I know a lot of people seem to like to run 7 intellect. A regular kill is going to cut off roughly 8.5 seconds every time you get a kill. And if you have Thresh on, it's 11.5 seconds. So now you're cutting 3 seconds off instead of the 4, which admittedly isn't actually that much of a difference. So it's still kind of worth it maybe, but that's where you need to ask yourself, how many kills are you getting before you get your super? I decided to go look at some game history to figure out how many kills on average would it take until you actually got your super. And the thing is it's different for every game type. For example, in Trials, it's like an average of 5 kills before you get your super, but in something like Rumble, where you're getting a lot of kills often, there isn't as much dead time for you to be gaining that super just by sitting around. So it takes like 10 kills to get that. For something like Trials, let's just assume 5 kills. In this situation here, with the 3-second difference, if you ran Thresh, 5 kills times a 3-second difference would be 15 seconds faster. What does that give us? Well, 264 seconds minus 15 gives us 250. So it would give us like basically 8.5 intellect. That might actually be worth it. However, I don't think I would pick this perk over something else. So it really depends what I've got on the gun. Palindrome, for example, runs with Thresh, but I would take Rangefinder over Thresh any day of the week. On different weapons though, maybe the perk pool isn't that great and Thresh is in there and you just go for it. It kind of depends. In regards to using it on a special weapon though, I don't think it's as worth it there either, because realistically you shouldn't be getting as many kills with your special as you are with your primary. I know everybody in the comments is going to say, ever heard of the Fellwinters? Fair enough. If you get a lot more shotgun or sniper kills than your primary, then maybe that's the way to go. But hey, Thresh doesn't roll on a Fellwinters, does it? Either way, let me just clean this up. You can screenshot this, use it however you want. Something like Rumble, where you're getting lots of kills fast, Thresh would be insane. So I actually decided to go and test it out in Rumble with my Palindrome that has Thresh on it. And it is insane. You can get your super a lot faster. Let's look at that same scenario. At 7 intellect, 264 seconds. If I usually get 10 kills by the time I get my super, that's 30 seconds faster. That's basically like bumping my intellect from 7 up to 10 just by running Thresh if I'm in Rumble. Oh, and hey, if you ever want to talk more about this kind of stuff, Discord or Twitter, these are great ways to get a hold of me. We recently reached 2,000 members in the Discord, and we're growing at a pretty quick rate. If you're looking for people to play with or you just want to chat, I highly recommend checking the link in the description and joining us. We'd love to see you there. I've cleaned up the table here. If you want to screenshot this, I'll see if I can find time to post this on Reddit as well. But I just wanted to get you guys the info, and cheers. Have a good week.